Hello and welcome to Geeks of the Round, series premiere discussion of the Blacklist. I am Todd Grundle, and today with me you have Matt Moore. I'm going to just jump right to questions. He's right there. Matt, did you like it?
Yeah, actually, I really did like it. I was pleasantly surprised. I knew it was going to be good, but it was actually even better than I expected.
I'm with you there. That's exactly what I thought. And unfortunately, just to let the world know, Matt's he's not a ventriloquist or a voice thrower, but there's just a delay in mouth and words.
Oh, is there?
Yes.
Okay.
It's fun. Okay. I was definitely pleasantly surprised. It started off, I was hoping for a little bit of background, but I guess that's not what the story is. We're going to get the background later. Starts right off. He goes right to the FBI or wherever he went and instantly turns himself in with his little sidekick there. Welcome home.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. First off, we don't see who the sidekick is, but apparently the sidekick knows that he has a background in the FBI. So it has to be, someone who knows his background. And it picked up really fast. This show basically got like a 2-hour episode and compressed it into 1 hour. At least that's what it seemed to me, without making it seem too rushed. It made it seem like it's supposed to be that way.
Really, like it had the, dare I say it, the presence of 24. I felt like I was watching an episode of 24 while watching it, and I haven't felt that in a while, personally.
Mm-hmm.
Were you a fan of 24?
I did not. I don't know. I got tired of 24 after like the 3rd season. I did really like 24 at first, and then it just got very repetitive for me.
A lot of people said that, but you know what it was for me that made this show feel like 24 was just the way that it kept, from start to finish, I was asking questions. It was a question after question after question, and they managed to, keep the story going at such a pace that I don't want to say I was on the edge of my seat, but it definitely wasn't an edge of your seat kind of thriller per se, maybe, but I don't know. It wasn't edge of your seat, but it was it was a little deeper, but it was a very, very intriguing thing. James Spader, just the way he's dealing with them from the beginning, I can tell the moment he walked in, I could tell he's playing them more than we're gonna find out for a while.
Puppet strings.
Right, and I just got excited. I was like, oh, we're really gonna get to live the life of the ultimate bad guy here.
In this particular episode, I think that they made a mistake that really worked out for them, so maybe they did it on purpose. But giving us that preview, that 4 or 5 minute preview that pretty much told the story of the first episode, got me to watch, but at the same time, it also made it to where I already knew what was going on. I knew every single major point of the story before it happened, except for the final one, but we won't get into that yet.
Yeah, well, honestly, it did, and I was noticing that as I went through, but still there seemed to be enough to keep me going. I wasn't bored, and that was the awesome part. Like, for instance, right off the bat we find out he was an FBI guy. You know what I mean? He was being groomed for Admiral, and then he just disappeared. Which,
yeah.
I don't know if we should do wild speculations in the end or all throughout, because this seems like a show that is it's one giant wild speculation.
Yeah, it makes you wonder exactly like why he would have gone from the side of the Angels to become basically, like they would say in Sherlock, a consulting criminal. Because that's kind of what he is, a concierge criminal.
Did they say that? Yeah. I rewound it 3 times. I couldn't hear it right because I forgot to DVR it, so I had to watch it on the internet. And they slammed his little box shut as they said what the papers called him, and it was the something criminal. And I swore it was something with a C, but I couldn't make it out.
Concierge criminal. Basically, he's a criminal for whomever can pay him. He doesn't have allegiances. He doesn't have like political ties. He doesn't have
He's a man
goal
without a country.
Yeah. And which is kind of funny because I watch a lot of Sherlock, and that is what Moriarty is in the BBC show Sherlock. Is he's a consulting criminal, is what they call him in that. Is he's basically a concierge criminal. But yeah, it's actually pretty cool. I thought it was interesting that he kept up a relationship with the very criminal that he was going after at the time he was going after him. I forgot the dude's name, but the main bad guy of this episode?
Something Russian.
Yeah.
Breznik or... No. Oh, I have it written down. I have it down here in the paper, but...
I think it's Johan.
Yeah, I think it is. You're right. That criminal.
Yeah, damn you, Johan.
That criminal who didn't show up tonight. Oh, I'm almost there. I'm almost there too. Well, while I'm looking for his name, I do want to mention I still am not happy about Spader's name, Red Reddington.
Uh-huh.
Although, that makes me kind of think maybe he is not even a person. He's just a creation of the CIA. You know what I mean? And he's been not like made in the lab or anything, just a CIA man who came up with this Red Reddington. So even before we knew him, it was bad.
Well, I don't know. I thought it was very Mid-Eastern, or Mid-Eastern, like middle of the country, like Ohio, like that 70s show. The main character was named Red. Maybe he's just called Red because of maybe he's just called Red because of his last name.
Well, it's Raymond Red Reddington. So.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, but I don't know. It just seemed a little cheap to me. But I don't care. I don't care. From what I've been watching, I don't care about that name anymore. This page that I have up does not say the name of the criminal. It says everything else about the show, but it doesn't say the name of the criminal. Did it lose the Silence of the Lambs vibes to you? Your volume disappeared.
Sorry, I was typing. No, I think it gained it a little bit more because of the fact that you still had the Silence of the Lambs like idea of I'm only going to talk to this person, and I'm going to talk in riddles, and basically you can't trust that anything I say won't actually help me in the end, which it did. I don't know. So it kind of actually gave me more of the Silence of the Lambs feeling.
All right, I can see that. Sorry, I just found out and I just fixed. Matt, this whole time everyone's just been staring at you and your out of sync kung fu flick talking.
Oh, great.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry for subjecting you all to Matt's hat, which Neil Patrick Harris absolutely hated.
He liked it. You know he liked it.
Did you?
You obviously did not watch the whole interview.
Did you ever think you'd be sitting here one day saying, Neil Patrick Harris liked it? But,
well,
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, like, it's been that kind of week, as earlier today I was at Fox 11 Studios, but that has nothing to do with the show. But yeah, it's been the kind of week of meeting celebrities for me.
All right, informed. We still have the same issue. So how about now? Can you see my absurdly handsome face?
There we go. We're
all
good.
Right. I guess I just have to switch when we talk. So I'll play cameraman here. But
just don't have like whatever you have the blue box around. Click it again. That will unselect them all, and it'll do it by voice.
Oh, look, now it's working when it's all unconnected. Good, okay, no cameraman needed.
Yay!
Right.
Okay. This is Todd's second foray into this?
Yeah, into this new
So
HOA.
folks, you will have to forgive him.
Please forgive me.
Yes. Now you guys have to forgive him. Myself and Deanna, we're not going to forgive you, not for a long time.
I'm sorry. I was just reading that in the chat there. Okay.
So
with that though, let's get back. Let's get into when. Okay, obviously he calls up the girl. We all saw that in the commercial. The FBI shows up. It's her first day. That's one hell of a treatment for somebody being late.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Is I'm all like, wow, the punishment for being late is pretty harsh for the FBI.
Yeah, and she gets there, and they pretty much just jump right into it. I mean, well, no, the scene with her superiors, that was a pretty good scene because they were, they were pretty much being rough on her, and kind of treating her like a criminal, and then they're like, profile yourself, and it's got to be kind of embarrassing to do.
Yeah, yeah, and mind you, all of this happens like. I was actually looking at the timer. Him turning himself into the FBI, which the scene between the time he introduces himself and the time that the cops actually get there, that was like 20 seconds. But that still, at that point in the show, it was 1:40 in, and they had already turned in the main bad guy. Within 4 minutes of the beginning of the show, she was already at FBI headquarters, like, saying, hey, I don't know why he wants me. Like, that's how fast the show went. Within 4 minutes, you've already introduced all the characters.
Yeah, and we needed to because they're like you said, they packed 2 hours worth of a movie into this one episode, and that's actually a promise that was made in their radio advertisements because on the Howard Stern show they paid him to do a live, one of his live ads for it. And that was the exact thing he said. He said all summer or all season long, it's going to be like a movie each week. And that they're going to pack a movie into each episode. So they looks like they delivered on that for this one at least. Yeah, really did.
And then, of course, you meet the agent whose name I'm forgetting because it's your job to remember. The girl agent and her husband.
Oh, Keene. Elizabeth Keene.
Yes, and her husband. Who
I actually knew that without looking, just so you know. I knew that without looking. Yes, her husband, Ryan Matthews from 90210.
Not the 90210 I watched.
Nah, not CW's 90210. The Next Generation.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But yeah, in any case, you meet those characters real fast. You find out that she wants to have a kid. She doesn't want her job in the FBI to ruin her family or to affect her family, which I think is BS. You don't join the FBI unless that is your career, unless that is your...
How do you expect to have a family when you're in the middle of the FBI? That was a little bit of a flaw. Like, even her act, like, she did the whole... sassy lady with the arms crossed, she's just like on the phone. So casual. She was just too casual about it when this whole SWAT team walking past her and she's like talking to her boyfriend like, yeah, honey, blah, 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 blah. I didn't like that a bit. Especially since she's supposed to be the sir. She's supposed to be the bitch, which is a little bit sexist if you ask me on the writer's part, because I don't think in that industry, I don't think they actually... Look, if a woman is in that position where if she's like Jack Bauer, which is kind of what this woman is going to be, and if she's in our real government, I'm pretty sure they're going to be respecting her as an equal. I don't think in that level of the world you're dealing with much sexism. Sure, in regular levels of life, there's plenty of sexism, but once you're there, I don't know. How do you be sexist against Lady Jack Bauer? She'll kick you in the face.
I don't know. I do know that sexism is alive and well in the Marine Corps because I remember that quite well. And basically the only way, at least in the Marine Corps, for you to get male Marines to not be sexist towards you is to literally beat the crap out of them. Because they won't hit back. Just pop them, you're good.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying, right? Like,
Yeah.
at this point in her career now, she's out of the Marines. Oh, would she have had to have been in the Marines?
No. She would have. She could have gone from a police officer to Quantico, or she could have been in ROTC and gone to Quantico, like just college ROTC.
I think that's what she did. Actually, I think that it was something involved with. She went from like school, because didn't she say she just graduated from somewhere?
From Quantico, yeah.
Okay, Quantico. So, but once she's at this point now, and if they already know her as the Sir, I just think that they would have some respect for her. I don't know. But
now, are we allowed to throw a wild speculation out there?
Anytime.
She is Keen's daughter.
Yeah, see, that is not even a wild speculation. It's going to be hard to do wild speculations with this show, because each point as you go along, maybe that's why they hired James Spader, because as I'm watching it, I'm saying to myself, they're clearly leading, the first interaction between the two of them, which was very Hannibal Lecter-ish. But anyway, as they're leading us on, I feel they're pointing in the direction. This is his daughter. He's been watching her forever. He knows about highlights she had. When he asked her if she's been home, he said he hasn't been home recently, sort of implying their home is together. I think you're special, etc., etc. However, it's James Spader, so it comes off of that creepy "I want to sex you" vibe, Yeah. And so I wonder if they hired him to kind of throw us off and wonder if he's just a guy who's obsessed with this girl for some reason. The father, as it was revealed in that scene, her father is a career criminal of some sort. And
well, it kind of makes you wonder. I mean, this guy, while he is a criminal, would still know people in the FBI and still know people in government. It's maybe later on we're meant to wonder how much of a hand he had in her getting into Quantico, for example, or her getting into the FBI. Like, maybe he kind of had a hand in all of that.
Yeah, he's been planning this great scheme involving the FBI and breeding her, essentially, since childhood, like, pulling her strings. Here, I think maybe this is an inappropriate jump of wild speculation, but I'm going to do it anyway. I was watching this and saying an ultimate great ending for this show would be for James Spader to have manipulated himself into the presidency of the White House. Like this character going all the way to where he's like in control of the free world.
Okay.
I got that vibe, and I kind of hope they give him Ultron power. I kind of hope they give him like big powers, like not superpowers is what I would say. Like I just hope they make him infallible. I hope they don't make him somebody who loses very often in anything he does.
It really seems like he is not. Are you familiar with the what's it called? The Xanatos maneuvers? Do you remember Gargoyles?
Yes, the cartoon.
Remember the bad guy for the first couple seasons was played by the guy from Star Trek, Riker from Star Trek?
I think I did know that.
In any case, every maneuver he did, every basically chess move he did against the Gargoyles, against his competitors, against whatever, was made to fail. Because if he succeeded, awesome. If he didn't, he would still get more than he lost, basically. Is that he planned for all different contingencies to where no matter how much he lost, he still won. And that's how I see James Spader's character. That's how I see now I'm forgetting his name.
Red Foreman.
Red, thank you. Not Red Foreman. Red Reddington, I think that's what Red Reddington is going to do, is he's going to basically plan for failure. Is even when he loses, he still wins.
Yeah, and I would see that definitely being his way. What a genius plot for a freaking cartoon, though. Honestly.
Yeah. Gargoyles was long before its time.
I remember enjoying the hell out of it when I saw it. I just, I haven't seen it in ages.
First 2 seasons, awesome. Third season, runaway. But yeah, I really see that that is probably who the character is going to be. Is that he's not going to lose, like ever. Like when Keen stabbed him in the throat, did he look the slightest bit surprised?
No, you know what he looked? He looked sad. He looked hurt.
Yeah.
He definitely he looked hurt and proud at the same time. And
yeah, exactly.
That's what makes me further think it's the daughter, which may be James Spader's undoing as an actor, because he is that good of an actor,
Another theory is that it isn't his daughter, but it is, for example, if he had killed her actual father and he felt guilty about it for whatever reason, he could have kind of behind the scenes taken over her raising.
Yeah, did they say the father was dead or alive? Did they say he was dead?
I don't know if they verified, but I think they implied that he was dead, and he was a career criminal. Because if he were a career criminal that was alive, she probably wouldn't have gotten into the FBI. Yeah, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sorry, the computer was freezing up for a second. I was checking to see if anybody was, talking in the comments.
But
that makes a lot of sense. No, I have to agree with that. He has to be dead, and he definitely has a huge part in whatever the story is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's there was that, and then of course there was the twist at the end. I really thought that they were going to make it to where Elizabeth Keen herself had this big bad secret. I thought at one point when Reddington was talking about, like, I'm a criminal, I've got all these secrets, like he was gonna, I thought he was gonna say right there, how about you? Do you have any secrets? Like implying that she did. But he didn't say that, and like I totally expected him to basically out her as to being like some sort of plant, but he didn't.
And he does know all about the other secret, which we can reveal now, which is that the husband is much more involved. At least he hinted at it to her, but he hinted only to her. He didn't do it with the FBI, which is part of the reason why I guess he only wants to speak to her so he can have privacy with what he says. Although it's all under surveillance.
Yeah, it makes you wonder whether or not this guy who is her husband is a spy, or if he is working for Reddington himself, or, I mean, he could straight out just be another criminal who's there to spy on Elizabeth Keen or Reddington.
I didn't consider that. I was hoping he would be like one of the ultimate bad guys, because the guy's a good actor. Nothing for nothing. On the show, he was He was one of the standouts on 90210. And oh man, it's so damaging every time I say it. But he was he was a standout. It was a hole when he left the show, and because he's a good actor, and he has what it takes to play a major villain in this in a very surprise kind of way. But what you said just now makes a whole lot more sense. That Reddington, I mean, that's how he knows everything about her. That's Reddington's man inside.
Yeah, exactly.
I would kind of go on that course. But speaking of men inside of Reddington, I do want to...
Wait. Care to rephrase that? I'm just curious.
That's James Spader. I can't do it. It has
to.
His sidekick, when they do show him later, I thought they showed him in the beginning, but when they finally do show him, that guy looks like a badass, like just the way when he was in the elevator and he just kind of like, You know,
Oh yeah, just wink to her.
right. I've got a feeling that this guy is going to be a lot of fun in the upcoming episodes. You know, he's definitely someone you don't mess with.
I'm hoping he's like a master of disguise. So basically, you don't know where he is, who he's going to be the next day.
Yes,
that would be kind of awesome.
He's always disguised as an Italian, a greasy
Oh.
Italian or whatever he is. He looks like some sort of mafioso type. No, it's the same head, but he wears a bellhop suit or he wears a valet outfit, which is what it seems he's doing.
He could be like what was that? Master of Disguise. What's
with
that?
Dana Carvey?
Yeah, what's that awful movie?
Master of Disguise.
Oh, okay. I was trying to think of the character name, but yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I actually, honestly, can proudly say I've only seen about 10 minutes of that movie, and I knew it was worthless.
That is 10 minutes more than I have seen. Thank you very much.
Oh, well, now I feel bad.
I, however, have seen Jiminy Glick in person live, so that's almost as bad.
Jiminy Glick's awesome.
Okay, says you.
I said. In any case, let's get to the bomb since we're talking about bombs of movies. The whole subplot with the girl, the admiral's daughter or the general's daughter, whatever, the Navy guy's daughter.
Yeah.
They still didn't reveal how much Reddington controlled all of that. Like, obviously, well, they did because he was involved with the Russian guy. So pretty much, he manipulated that entire event, or did he just allow it to happen?
I don't know. Like, there was when he first described the kidnapping of the daughter. He said that there was basically he described what actually happened to a T. He's all like, there'll be a distraction and then a kidnapping. Like, the distraction was them trying to save the daughter. So I kind of thought that maybe he kind of held back and later on was all like, oh, I didn't know a thing. And I think he might have known about everything. I think that them grabbing the daughter was part of the plan. Because then when the bad guy is all like, how did you know? Like, he's asked, how did you know, to Elizabeth Keene, and we find out later that he was told to ask Elizabeth Keene. Like, he was told to go there and scare the crap out of her. Remember that?
Yeah, and that's what kind of threw the whole thing for a loop to me, because it's like, how much does Spader really have as a hand? Like, is he facilitating these things, or is he controlling these things? You know, like, where does his information come from? Because obviously, like you just said, he sent the Russian guy there. However, the Russian guy went there not knowing the full story. Was he even a Russian? I'm sorry to the Russians if he wasn't. But anybody with an accent is generally Russian to me in the televisions.
You understand that everybody has an accent if you're from a different part of the world, right?
Everybody with a Russian accent is Russian.
Okay.
An Eastern European accent, it always equals Russian to me in the televisions.
So here's my theory, and you just made me think of this, is what if it all, like the entire series, the entire show, is all him playing one very, very long con? What if, as a concierge criminal, he didn't take money, but he traded favors? Hey, I'll do this if you owe me a favor later. And all of this show is him just trading in favors to manipulate the FBI.
That's exactly where I'm hoping it's going to go. That is my ultimate expectation for this show. I just want, and that's why I say, oh my goodness. Sorry, somehow. No, sorry, somehow Sirius XM just started blaring in my ears out of nowhere. Don't know how that happened, and it freaked me out. But anyway.
Howard Stern.
Yeah, exactly, that's what it was. Where were we? I'm sorry, that was so distracting. I apologize.
That maybe he's doing a long con and he's just pulling favors.
Right, and that kind of goes into what I was going to say about him becoming the president or like the ruler of like the free world, because one big long con is what I'm looking for, what I'm hoping to. One unabashed criminal who is just getting the best of the FBI at every single turn, and then it will be rewarding in the end of it all when he gets, you know, caught in the series finale or taken down or whatever. You know what I mean? I could definitely see it become rewarding. Yeah?
But the question is, and this is yet another like wild speculation. This is what the show is. Yeah, you were right earlier. This is what the show is going to be. It's just a whole bunch of wild speculation about what's going on. Another thing is, what if this guy is not actually a criminal?
What I won't be upset with that. I would accept that. I was thinking about that. Go ahead.
Is what if this guy? It's like the movie Swordfish. Is John Travolta's character in Swordfish was very much a criminal who was hired by the government to be a criminal. Like, he wasn't a criminal at first, but he was made a criminal by the U.S. government. What if we've got a situation like that? Like someone above Elizabeth Keene in the FBI's pay grade has this guy working with all these criminals, and now this guy has to use that knowledge to take them all down.
Well, you know, that could go right in with the whole theory of him being a CIA creation from the beginning as Red Reddington.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of places this show can go, and almost all of them that I can think of are quite impressive.
Right. If they let us down, man, that's such a huge deal. They've got like 20 options.
I was gonna say, if it's like in Dexter, the theories that we came up with were so much better than what the writers came up with. I'm just hoping that's not the case here, and it doesn't appear that it's going to be.
I will take this moment here, since you didn't get to do your Dexter finale, to say to you, I just feel as if they watched Dark Knight, the last two Batman movies, and sort of tried their best to block out the word Batman and make their own movie. I don't know. That was a terrible ending.
Yeah, yeah. But so yeah, then we get like the whole the kid's got the bomb on her back, and there's 2 minutes and 35 seconds left. And who does she call? Not the bomb squad, but Red Reddington, with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left.
Yeah, and then he goes, "Don't bother with your people. They won't get there in time. I already sent someone."
It's like, who are you going to find to go into freaking Central Park, somewhere in the middle of Central Park, with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left, and be able to get a bomb off a kid's back?
A crazy Russian.
Or no, it wasn't Central Park. It was a zoo. That's right. It was a zoo. But still, that was a little unbelievable. But I just watched Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I really shouldn't talk about unbelievable. But we'll talk about that in another 23 minutes.
But on that scene of the Russian guy and the bomb, I actually wrote something down here. A little observation I made. When she was yelling at him, or she was talking to him, there's 1 minute and 40-something seconds left, and he's going in there. What are you gonna do? What are you doing to that bomb? And he sliced it off. He's speaking in Russian. I don't know what he was saying, but I can only assume it was telling her to shut the fuck up and let me defuse the bomb, because yap yap yap, there's a bomb on a little girl. Shut up, lady. Stop trying to break the language barrier.
I would have been like, Google Translate. What the fuck?
Siri, what is this crazy Russian man shouting about?
Yes. But and then of course he runs off with a chemical weapon, and she doesn't chase after his ass. Like,
no, she sends her little men that came in afterwards. She pointed it off into the direction, so. But I'm sure James Spader's already had that guy picked up in a hovercraft and darted off to the moon for safekeeping.
Yes. because he likes to play with chemical weapons.
Yeah, you said he'll have more fun with that. Or he'll have more of a use of it than we will. But with that line, by the way, we will, and then we can pretty much wrap it up because I want to let you get the time to get ready for the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. premiere. It was fun. He said we, like, which he said a lot, but it definitely, he might be a good guy in the end of it. He might be, again, created by the CIA to be an ultimate terrorist fighter by embedding him as the ultimate terrorist. And now here he is with his 20 years of work, and now it's his time to do that work, and how better to do it with his kid, which goes back to that line he said earlier, you can be the way for me to make it right about all the things that I have done wrong, when he was talking to Elizabeth.
And, I mean, I don't know. He could have also been friends with her father, or, like, I mean, there's a lot of different
killed her father, like you said.
Or, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different ways this show can go, and I can't wait to see where it goes.
Yes, very much looking forward to next week. And all we have left now is that ending. I freaking loved that ending when it went off into that 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. She finds Elizabeth Keene is cutting the spot of blood, which makes me wonder if he even did that. He even said to the guy, listen, stab her husband right there, knowing she wouldn't be able to look at the blood, was going to have to cut the piece of carpet off. It's either really stupid or it's a Red Reddington plot. And he had to cut the carpet off, and then she finds a hole in the floor that opens up, and there's a box with all of her husband's passports and hundreds of thousands of dollars, presumably. And she calls up James Spader, and he goes, "Let me guess, you found out something interesting about your boyfriend or your husband." And then it goes into, I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Some like pop version or whatever it was. Excellent ending.
Yeah.
Because it didn't take itself too seriously. It said right there, look, we're having fun with this show. This is going to be a fun show. This isn't 24. You know what I mean? It might have traces of 24, but we're also having fun. That's why we hired James Spader.
Well, that's just it. It's got traces of a lot of shows. It's got traces of 24. It's got traces of White Collar, especially with the high-class hotels and things like that. I mean, it's got... There was a couple other things. Of course, we were talking earlier, and now I'm forgetting the name of the movie. Where the guy
Masters of the Skies? Oh, Hannibal.
No.
Hannibal Lecter. Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, it's got a little Silence of the Lambs. It's got a little bit of a lot of things. And it at the same time is wholly its own, which is very cool.
Yeah, it managed to pull that off. And by the way, about your White Collar, because you mentioned it during our pre-discussion as well, Jeff from Google Plus had mentioned he also saw the similarities between this and White Collar, but he said that he sees this show as having more of a potential to not get stale as White Collar got for him.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Cool.
And all right, let's get this done so you can take some time off before the next show, which starts in 18 minutes, everybody. Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Once again, Matt, would you mind doing the takeout so I can take notes on how to do it in the future?
Oh, that means I have to remember everything. Okay, next Monday, we are doing the final episode of Breaking Bad. That will be at 8 p.m. Pacific time. Deanna's going to be running that show. We are no longer doing Hangouts Against Humanity, so I apologize to anyone who wants to be a part of that. It will probably be coming back after the new year, just because I have a night job, and I was the one running it. What else? We have this. What days are we going to do this regularly? On Tuesdays?
I do believe Tuesday will be the best.
All right, Blacklist will be done on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific time, which, of course, is like 11 p.m. for you East Coasters.
Yes, 11 p.m.
Sorry about that, but we have to get home and actually write stuff for these things. We have to prepare. And then we also have Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Although we are filming the very first episode tonight on a Tuesday, we are actually going to make it regularly on Wednesday nights. We just wanted to get this one done as soon as it airs for most people, because a lot of people are going to be excited about this first episode, and rightfully so. I've already watched it twice. What else do we have? We have we have Coven.
The American Horror Story Coven, that's coming in just a month about. Which looks exciting as hell. They're really sucking me in with their little creepy promos and their use of House of the Rising Sun of a song. I think they're doing a good job with their advertisements.
Is it still going to have Zachary Quinto?
I believe he's making his appearance in this season. I gotta double look into that, but I believe I just read that. But the girl, pretty girl from season 1 is back. Jessica Lange's daughter, her Down syndrome daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yes, she's back, and she's in some sort of a gang with the daughter from season 1, Precious Gabourey Sidibe, or Sidibe, and pretty girl. I don't remember her name.
Is the redhead maid from season 1? Is she still doing the show?
She is back for this season. Yes.
Because she was hot.
Yes.
Until she became the older version of herself. Then not so much.
Yeah, that was a definite downer, but that's what Rewind is for, and that's what $5 extra for DVR.
And I think that's it. Like, I can't think of anything else.
Just check us out at geeksandaround.com, youtube.com/geeksandaround.
Geeksandaround, yeah.
All right, and that looks like it. See you all next Tuesday, 8 Pacific, 11 Eastern.
Oh, this is a bad thing in England, so no peace signs in England.
Oh.